Hello, Cancer. This is your August 2023 reading. All right, let's begin. Underlying energies on the decks are having loyalty, faith. This can be about a friend, somebody who's helping. You could be helping somebody through a loss. You could have lost a friend. There's grieving here, emotional sadness, emotional strife of some kind, challenge emotionally, and it has to do with a friend, maybe moving away, and you understanding this or finding out about this, so this loss could have to do with some sort of financial empire, but being called to spirit in some sort of way. So if you lost a friend because they were called to spirit, my condolences. I don't exactly know if that's more of a literal or metaphorical, metaphysical kind of combo, but let's get going here. So, presently, you're focused on or working with the balance of a situation, balancing it out, making it fair for a child or for some new beginning to happen in your life. This situation is being helped by this independence, financial independence, this financial kind of success, completion of some financial goals, okay? Attaining some financial goals, and the progression of a relationship. Now, this can be about moving a relationship to a next level, moving a commitment to the next level. Your own independence might be what is kind of crossing the situation, because there's other people involved in this kind of harmony or balancing of the situation. There's progression with a relationship. It could be about a child that already exists, a new phase in the relationship, marriage, but your independence is coming into play. You might not want to go to the next level in a relationship. Maybe you like your independence, you're comfortable with your sovereignty, your financial responsibilities are you and your pets, and that's it, and that's all you really have known up until this point. But there is something here about a child coming into play, making it fair, or a new beginning coming into play, making it fair, and your independence and your finances, your financial attainment as being something that's, there's going to be some progress with that. If there was a court issue or legality of any kind, I see there being a new beginning with that, and there being progress being made and some sort of commitment to your financial independence. What you're thinking about right now is yourself. Here we have you at the top of your reading, and you're thinking about what Cancers normally think about: protecting their emotions, family, the upbringing, the nurturing. You're in touch with their emotional side, and you're thinking about your emotions at this time, and you're thinking that you could be the answer for something. You could be the answer to something, or that you have the answer to a situation. You could be thinking that you're the answer to this child, and maybe you're going to adopt this child that you've been your partner and you are now uniting families. There's a next level, there's an upgrade. You could have started your own business and you're finishing up or starting, there's the legalities of that, the paperwork of that. You're starting to deal with that, and there's a new beginning from that. And so you are official and are able to make money on your own by yourself. And this contract is now, I don't have the letter here, but it feels like it's some kind of commitment to your own. You're thinking very selfishly right now, I gotta say. Which can be good, because it, sometimes we need to balance things out that way. But there might be somebody else. There's other things involved in this now. So you feel like you've got the answer to some sort of contract or commitment, and that there's some progression, and it could have to do with some sort of heart-based communications. Okay? In the past, there was a betrayal or some sort of very painful ending when it came to some painful news coming about the end of a situation that was really heart-staking, and there was loss involved, and somebody could have delivered this news to you that was really painful. It could have been a relationship ended with anyone in your life, a job loss, some sort of not so great news about you not getting something or something being done and over with. And I think it has to do with career, because I do have the coffin in the house of career. So you might have lost a job and you had to move forward and start over again. You might have lost a court case where where children were involved, and your visitation was cut back or something like that. There was something painful here about this ending. And your now your independence, and you're financially independent, and this is being ruled out in a court of law, or this is being justified in some sort of way currently. What you're not aware of in this situation. Your emotions are really subconsciously you're very, very emotional right now. You might be holding back emotions. You might be protecting your emotions in some sort of way. I mean, you're a Cancer. That's what you do. There is a lot going on under the surface. And you could be very nervous or have some anxiety going on about love at this time, or a relationship. You also could be just not know that you're unaware that someone is communicating that they love you or that they care about you. There is some sort of, there was a moving away in the past after a time of a painful culmination, and there was a moving away or news of a painful situation, and there was a movement away from something. This is very emotional communication. You might have stuff to say, but you want to say that you love somebody, but you can't for some reason. Your subconscious is holding back in some sort of way. Or you might not be aware that somebody else is communicating that they love you from the other side. Because I do see this water card as being a very spiritual kind of the birds are messengers, and the water being that energy of the birds. I feel like it's a loved one from the other side is communicating with you after some sort of loss. If you did lose a friend, I'm sorry that could have been what happened in the past. There is some sort of love, though, being expressed from a deep place. Maybe you don't know how to communicate that you love somebody. Maybe there's been some emotional baggage you've been dealing with and have had a hard time doing that. In the future, I see something, there's an exchange of energy. There's a giving and receiving, a discerning of who's worthy of something. And there's some popularity over this, or there's some reputation or admiration about this. There's some goodwill that is being delivered, that's being recognized here. You're doing the right thing and it's being recognized. There's something here about that. Your advice. There's a woman that is a very passionate person, a female identified or a female energied person in this situation that's very passionate, fiery. She could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And it's saying that you should be open to love with this person, or you should be offering your cup of love. Now, this doesn't have to be romantic love. This can be a reconciliation of some sort. I do have the Judgment card here. Underneath a few of them, so it's not too far into the bottom of the deck. There's something here about your service to others in terms of your helping them emotionally or reciprocating emotions that is going to come into play. Or you're being advised to offer your cup, your emotions, show your emotions, share how you feel with this person. Maybe it's about manifesting the person that you want to be with in a loving relationship, but you're being guided to manifest something with this person through an offering of love of some kind. How other people are seeing you. They're seeing you as stubborn and that you're hardworking and you are maybe beating a dead horse a little bit. They might be seeing you as somebody who only talks about work, or somebody who thinks a lot about their long-term goals and work, and maybe they're not seeing that emotional side to you. However, the Capricorn card, I mean, this is the very old school, like, Capricorn sea goat. She has that tail, that mermaid tail. And so you're thinking a lot about career, but also at the same time, you're very emotionally, you're coming from a well, a well of emotion. You put your heart and your soul into what you do. And people are noticing that. You might be rushing a little bit at work. You might be trying to really push forward and get things done. They see that. Sometimes you get a little carried away with yourself. So, what else? What you're fearing or you're hoping for. There's something about being alone here and being connected to nature in some sort of way. Maybe you hope to be alone, to take some time out to reflect and connect to something greater than yourself. Beauty that is growing. Maybe there is something here about a need to go off on some sort of a need to be alone, a need to reflect, a need to deeply introspect whether you're happy or not in a situation. You're hoping you are happy. Maybe you don't know exactly how you're feeling. Maybe you're nervous about compromise or the compassion that it will take in order to make a situation work. There is something divine about being stuck. There is something about how you are being forced into a timeout in order to connect. Maybe you didn't want to take the time to reflect, and smell. It's like taking the time to smell the roses almost. There's something here about looking outside of yourself instead of within. There's this contrast to your inner world and your external world. And there's a spreading of good cheer or fortune here. You might be lurking. You might be looking for the right words to say to somebody to show them you care, and you're needing to take the time and actually take a respite in order to connect to your higher self and your long-term goals about where you want this to go, where your life is heading, what your purpose is in this situation. This can have to do with anything connected to the internet and having, this is like web design. This is having some sort of job that requires you to spend a lot of time alone and be away from people, or work for people at a distance with technology and design. There's a building here of something. There could have been somebody in your life that has had addictions, um, that has been dealing with that throughout the course of a good portion of their life. This could be you. This could be somebody else. This could have been the friend that you've lost. It could have been both you and the friend that you lost. You might have lost this friend because of the progress and commitment you've had to getting yourself and your life in order, and they haven't gotten on the same boat. But you wish this person well. You want the best for this person. Your career house, and the full-on outcome. Let's talk about the full-on outcome first. I see there being some sort of publicity involved in a giving, a charity of some kind. There's some sort of good deed being recognized here. And there's this ending to decisions that may be self-orientated. You're having to really listen to your inner self to make a decision for yourself as well. It could be that there's an ending to this compromise in how you think, or thinking about others before yourself. The reindeer in the Two of Swords is talking about really tuning in, maybe not having all the information at hand to make a decision, but really tuning in to what's going to be best and the highest, for the highest good of the entire situation. And it all starts with yourself. And I can't help but see the ram there in the Aries card and connect the dots with the horned animals. You're deciding what's going to be best for yourself in the situation, and so you end something. It could be a job, because the Empress there with the fox is talking about resources and abundance and creativity and production and the valuing yourself. And the fox speaks of intelligence, so this is about really being smart about how your resources, being very intelligent about how you use your resources, how you value yourself. Really think about how you value yourself in the situation. And the Ten of Pentacles next to it have to do with a legacy, family wealth, abundance. But it seems like there's some kind of a cutting out of family, a cutting out of family money, or quick money coming to you. It can be either the loss of money or the money coming very fast. It might come from a painful situation. The ending of the way people view you, or a change in the way people view you, and a quick investigation as well. There's something here about investigating of resources, looking for and hunting. This is a hunting kind of energy, because there's like the Empress of Mother Nature and what she has to offer, but you have to look for it, and it's all around you, and it's ever abundant. But sometimes it takes some skill and some tact, some planning, some practice, and I feel like there is something there about hunting, and with the family. Even if you you might be going hunting with a family member. I don't know if that's your thing, or I just see like, and also if you're one of those people that does taxidermy, this is something that is coming up here. There's something about the cultivation of something from the natural world, and there being a decision to use it as a resource of some kind. And I see the horns, so I'm thinking like a taxidermy situation. Not advocating, not saying what's right or what's wrong, I'm just telling you what I see. There is something here about an investigation over some kind of reputation ending. There's some sort of loss of something, or a change in something that in your reputation, in some sort of way. It could be for the better, and it could have to do with family, because I do have the Empress and the Ten of Pentacles next to one another. And the Empress can speak of the mother, and the Ten of Pentacles can speak of the family and the legacy of the family and the money involved and the house and the picket fence and all that stuff. So when I see the moon, even though it's not the moon from the tarot, because I'm using tarot with the Lenormand, I always kind of it always pulls me to feel like I'm looking at a tarot card when I look at this card. And it can be about, in the future, you're figuring out how to take care of the mother, recognizing that someone needs assistance, or there needs to be some generosity or some giving back of some kind, discerning who gets what. And it seems like there's a compromise. You're not sure how things are panning out in terms of an ending with something. It could be that there's some sort of, you need to make a job change in order to move back in and take care of your mother. Maybe there's been a loss of money in regards to something in career. Maybe there was a career that ended because a family business went awry. There's something about that here. Now let me look at all the major arcana to kind of sum up the big points so I can really. There's Justice at the front. Justice and the Empress. The Hermit and the Hanged Man. The Hermit and the Hangman. Very solitude. Very, very need for thinking about something. And the abundance and the production of the Empress. Justice and the Empress. There could be some kind of balancing out needed that's going on presently, about where money goes. This could be a will situation, a custody situation. Could have to do with property, family legacy. I don't have a couple cards that I would want to have to say these things, but this can also be about the loss of a sibling, whether they moved away. There's like some secret some private thing, some private matter. There's some secrecy involved in some sort of, it's not clear where they're at. It's not, there's a channel of finances here involved. And I see there's like this loss of the management of the finances, being called to action. The illusion of resources or the flow of resources is involved. The fluidity of resources. And there's healing and divine hope. Patience, waiting for abundance to prosper or be harvested. And then things moving faster and having a new beginning and manifesting a new beginning. So whatever this is, it might be tied up in court, or it might be a karmic waiting period for this. I think you're hoping you don't have to go at it alone, that you don't have to wait, and that, or maybe you are hoping to be alone. Maybe there would have been a shared asset. It's being acknowledged that something should be divvied up or shared, and you're not wanting to share this gift or this blessing of some kind, but you'll have to be, it's like you're connected to strings. This guy reminds me of a puppet. It's like you're connected to this person, this entity, this thing. And so you're being forced to look at it from a different perspective. You're being forced to take a consideration of whatever you're connected to within the family that's been painful, or that's come on suddenly. I think that the biggest blessings in the situation are, there could be some snooping around as there could be some snooping around as well by somebody's mother. Somebody's being snooping around. There's an investigation of resources that ends up being a blessing, or you might meet somebody, an investigation of resources or abundance, or there's a looking into a test as well. There's a test and seeing if you have, if somebody's pregnant. This could be looking into that, a sonogram, or some kind of x-ray of some kind to see if somebody is abundant. If this is about paternity, I can see that being whatever, this justice and the child issue with the Nine of Pentacles. Maybe somebody's worried that they have to now share their legacy with somebody else, but they want to be certain that that person isn't lying or deceitful, because the fox can be a tricky, very snoopy, tricky, very intelligent, cunning kind of energy. Whatever manipulation, if the fox is manipulative, it will end. It will end, and the Aries card is a very self-oriented card, and the Two of Swords is making a decision that you might not have all the information yet, but you have to make a decision prior to having the information. So you have to use your intuition about a situation. And so you might end something that has, end a status, end a relationship, end a reputation that you have of some sort, end a career, or there might be a change in your reputation from this. It seems like, I'm not gonna lie, it's like there's a very intelligent kind of, you have to be methodical, you have to have a methodical approach to whatever this is, in regards to ending some sort of relationship, ending some sort of reputation of some kind. Somebody might have a reputation for always needing a handout, and you're having to think of yourself in the situation and make the best decision to go quiet on this person or end the situation. There could be somebody in your life that is having a baby that you're associated with, that you are, that your friend might be having a baby. If you're younger and your mother's pretty young, she could be looking into having a baby. Also, it seems like the Ten of Pentacles is, the money is either coming in fast or there's a loss of money. There's a quick taking away of a legacy. And I gotta get another card. Is this Ten of Pentacles. Coming in quick or going away quick. Uh-oh. And I've lost the card. Oh. It's coming. It could be from the sale of a house. Yeah, and I have this is what I've been waiting for, the letter underneath. Yeah, it's a sale of a house, a will of the family. There's something here about if there is any kind of passing, or there could be, or this also can be someone needs to be institutionalized, and their assets, the family legacy needs to be let go of so that they can afford to pay for this institutionalization of some kind. This could have to do with mental health. It can have to do with preparing for the end of life. It can have to do with social work assistance, hospitalization, anything like that. I'm not saying that there won't be any legacy left over, but that feels like there's a legacy that's being cut short in some sort of way, financially, because of a situation having to do with some sort of spiritual rite of passage, like somebody's ill. It's also the house of illness, and I do have Capricorn, and this is the Knight of Swords with so this can be also rehab, going to rehab. Somebody went to rehab. They might have taken a lot of money from the family. This could have been a sibling, like I said, with a dog, or could have been somebody who was a part of the family or connected to the family in some way. All right, I'm going to go through the houses. This is a heavier reading. I didn't think it would be, but whatever this is being dealt with. You're getting your financial independence from the situation. So you might be getting out of this, whatever this is. You're getting your freedom. You're hoping that you get your freedom, that you don't have strings attached, maybe, that you can find your sovereignty and your peace from the situation. You're breaking free of a toxic cycle. This could be you that has had some issues with addiction in the past. There is a place where you're going to go, it might be spiritual in nature or an institution of some kind, where they're going to help you remove. It has a legacy of removing things, so you could be removing some sort of toxic behavior or pattern or compulsion of some kind. If there's custody with children involved in this situation, I see there being a fair and balanced thing going on. Fair and balanced judgment, justice. It seems like you will have a new beginning, and your commitment to progress is important for this independence, getting your independence back in some sort of way. Because I do have the Ten of Pentacles here in the past, and we're leaving that painful ending, that cycle of ruin, really, and moving into potentially having everything we need for ourselves and enough to share with other people. And I see that, okay, I'm feeling much better now, because I see whatever this commitment to progress is, it goes from the Nine of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. we're building a legacy. We're sustaining our legacy. And so you really want to continue to push whatever you've been trying to create harmony and balance in your life with. It's time to start doing that and commit to the progress. In the future, near future, you're going to be recognized for doing the right thing, for creating some balance out in the world, for giving back in some sort of way. There's something here about generosity of spirit being recognized, and an ending to some selfishness as well. It could be the ending or the changing of selfish decisions in your life. And that doesn't have to be about something like drugs or alcohol or anything, but it could be. But it could also have to do with helping somebody else in the family through this hard time that they're going through. You might be investigating some resources, hunting down some assistance for somebody else that you're associated with. This is also a humanitarian house. This is about doing good for others, and I see you being the person that's doing the work, that's doing the calls and the looking into things and trying to get things, trying to kind of produce some sort of positive results that produce some resources for somebody, whether that's yourself, your family, something good going on here. Yeah, there's something about moving somebody, a detailed, like there's been a lot of focus on details within a move and a family, somebody sick in the family as well. There's the letter, the ship, the mice, and so a family member that could be ill could be getting some results or something, that things are moving forward, or that they need to, they're moving into a different, like an assisted living or something, or they're going into the hospital for some treatment or something. All right, let me walk through the houses. First house. We're very balanced in our physical appearance. If we had any disharmony in our complexion, things are clearing up. We're looking very presentable, put together. There's this kind of classic formality to us in some sort of way. We could be having, our style could just be very kind of traditionally clean, and we're looking very well put together. This could be for formal work or event or something like that, but we're looking good, we're looking balanced. Or we're starting to really put an effort into how we're appearing and our Venusian qualities of ourselves. So we're really kind of grooming things, trimming things back, cleaning things up, making sure that everything looks aesthetically pleasing on our person. So then the second house of resources. This can be a business that we're starting for ourselves, or some side gig that we're doing for ourselves that's really helping our finances and becoming more independent financially. If you were codependent in a relationship at all, somebody else was making all the money, you will eventually start to see that relationship progress from you finding your own financial independence. You might be moving out as well. Not that the relationship will end necessarily, but it could, with this past card like this here. You would already know this is happening because that's in the past. So There is progress, though, being made. There's a move being made. There could be a trip also. You might be traveling in a business partnership for work and being very financially independent from that job. There's, in the third house, something about keeping yourself protected when going about short trips in your neighborhood. If you live in a bad neighborhood, I would suggest keeping a key or some sort of object that will protect you in case you are being attacked in any way. It's just good to be cautious. And there is also going to visit the mother in your neighborhood if she lives in your neighborhood, and checking in on her house, making sure she's okay. This could be a cousin as well, or a sibling that has children that you are house sitting for, or something like that. It's also having Cancer card there. I'm getting this very mundane kind of thing about multitasking, lots of short trips. The crab has, several legs, so I feel like you'll be going different routes or approaching your trips around the neighborhood differently, and then you will find something that's like kind of a gem that you never saw before because you changed your route up. You'll find something, the solution to some sort of issue or something in your life. This is also about protecting one's home and making sure that you have, you might be lending your key to somebody. Just make sure that, that person's trustworthy and stuff like that. This is also about looking for a home to live in your neighborhood, scouting out a new place to live in a neighborhood, your local environment. Moving close to your mother in order to help her with in her older age, maybe, or if she's not been well. Fourth house, your home. If there's been any issues with plumbing in your home, I would check into that. But other than that, because I just have the stork here, and he's standing in water. And I have the water card right here. You might be nervous about a drip that you hear or some sort of water that's coming from somewhere. And it doesn't seem like there's too much to be worried about. It will all get resolved. Some sort of partnership. So you could get a plumber, or your landlord might have, they might be a land couple that takes care of your place, and they may have no problem helping you out with the situation. You might hear somebody emotional squabbles from your neighbors. I feel like, or there's something here about gossip about relationships. So you might be watching a lot of romantic kind of Hollywood news stuff, or some sort of, if you have a pool where you live, you might be spending a lot of time by your pool as a couple if you're in a partnership. love of communication. So there could be a lot of sweet talk going on in the home, or there could be a lot of emotional communication going on in private within the family. Expressions of love, of maybe it's not usual for this amount of emotions to be present in the family, but or maybe it is, and it's just like the routine thing. But there's a lot of communication about the love that's had between family members or partners or something. And fifth house, some sort of leisurely activity, some sort of gambling issue, or I mean, a romantic fling could be what I'm getting at here, or even some sort of creative project that has been mentally a pain or caused you a lot of physical or emotional pain, is ending because you are getting news that wait a minute. There's incoming news, a visitor. Yeah, I feel like it's a romantic thing. It's a fling thing. I feel like there's an ending with a fling that you've had. Somebody who used to come over and spend time with you is maybe stopping by to visit, and it's kind of like a painful situation because you're like, well, sorry, but I'm in a relationship now, or sorry, I've moved on, or this is also about children and an ending to visitations with them, or there is some sort of painful goodbye with somebody that's a child in your life. You're moving away from your sister's place, and your nephews or nieces are saying goodbye because it's long distance. There's something here about an ending to some sort of a news of endings, a painful ending, something that might have been really trying and troublesome for a long time, with children, with a gambling problem of some kind. I don't know. It's giving me more romantic vibes than children vibes. Maybe a relationship ended, and you're sad you won't be able to see your ex-partner's children. So that's what that could be talking about, some sort of loss and having to move on. Painful news, getting painful news about something to do with the fifth house. The good news about the Ten of Swords is that it's the end of a painful thing. It's been the worst. It's at its worst culmination, and then after that, it gets better. It's rock bottom, basically. So your car might give out or something. Don't like to always see the Rider as the car, but do I have the Chariot? No, I don't have the Chariot anywhere. I do have the Boat, right? Somewhere? Nope. Passionately express how you feel is your show your emotions. Get creative and artistic. express how you feel and how passionate you are about something is your advice. So I'm going to let that one go for a minute, and we'll move on to the next one here. Sixth house, health. This is understanding that there's some sort of, you're recognizing that there's going to be, you're going to have to give back to yourself in some sort of way in regards to your health, or doing something good for somebody else might improve your health in some sort of way. Whatever you've been doing that's been kind of giving with your health, you're giving to the issues you have, giving attention to where those issues are, and taking a step back from the other things that aren't such a problem. So there's a balancing out of attention is given where it is needed. Where there's a squeaky wheel, we're going to be putting the oil, and we're going to be checking in on that to make sure it doesn't get squeaky again. So there's like a nice balance of that. You're tending to your health when you're realizing, when I need rest, I get rest. When I'm not going to, just because I need to do the dishes, if I need to get rest, I'm going to get rest first. You're putting yourself first and your needs first, which is actually benefiting others in your life in some sort of way, because things are more balanced and you're at your best. You're taking care of your needs first and seeing what which is keeping you afloat, and therefore in the big picture it is, helping everybody else, and people are recognizing that you're paying attention to these things more, you're giving to these things more. You also could have a job where you're being seen giving back to the community in some sort of way, or the homeless, or trying to, you might be a social worker, you might be part of some humanitarian effort. I do see you being somebody who investigates the resources, or seeks out resources for others. So this could be your job. This is a very caring and considerate job. You're thinking about how you can nurture. Nurturing is the answer. Giving back is the answer right now. So this is also about pets. So this is about, you're being seen as an animal lover as well, or someone that takes care of animals. You could be a veterinarian, or somebody who works with animals. Seventh house. Some person in your life is going to get you really hot and bothered, and you're going to want to make this offer, or you're rekindling the passion you have in your relationships and being a little bit more emotionally receptive, and also open. Eighth house. This is about authority and penalty and some sort of communication. So be careful with authority. Make sure that you're not rocking the apple cart too much. You don't want to get yourself in trouble more than you have to. I feel like there is some sort of cyclical work thing. So like maybe you're having to communicate better at work, or you're arguing with somebody at work because you have to communicate with them about their work ethic, or they're messing up, or they're rushing a job, and you share the finances with this person, and so there might be an argument about that. There also could be somebody making a mess for you at work, and that's causing you to have to clean up your, just cleaning up your act, or cleaning up the whole situation over and over again. There's something here about toxic patterning as well. So there could be something to do with addictions, like I said before. There's also something to do with work. So there could be some sort of authority getting involved from your job, or someone else at your job is the authority is getting involved with them, with their use of substances, or you might get a talking to about it, or there's like some sort of class that needs to be taken. Like it could be government related, because of the power of the 8th house and the Capricorn card here. This is like the powers that be telling you, like, you know, you're gonna get fined for this, or you're gonna get penalized for this, or you're gonna get, and it's gonna keep happening over and over again, or you're going to get written up for this. Or there's something here about communications, more of an aggressive communication as well. So you also could get in a fight with your boss about your pay, or something being taken out of your pay over and over again, or something about a job here. A lot of hard work is involved. This also could be about, Saturn's about restriction, right? So it's, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and it's got this restrictive kind of hindering quality. So you might feel like you're having to bite your tongue, or hold back what you want to say over and over again in a situation with authority on some sort of loan, tax, debt matter. This could be about fines to do with those things. Now this fly is just chilling and walking across. Oh my gosh. All right. 8th house, 9th house. Your spiritual house, your expansive house. There is some great deal of, there's some sort of gift you're going to get from going internal, from going inside. There is some sort of connection to spirit that you will have during this time. I feel like solitude is vital in order for you to expand and grow, to understand, or get a what's the word? Your own viewpoint. To take a look at something from another perspective, you might have to take some time alone to do that and get your own opinion on something. It's like whatever this is, the spreading of cheer, the spreading of happiness, the spreading of gifts. It's very Santa Claus vibes. I feel like there's something here that you're gonna feel much more at peace, even though you might feel restricted in some sort of way. I feel like this restriction comes in the 8th house, and it ends up helping you in some sort of way. You get clear. You get like some sort of, you feel more connected to spirit and the beauty that is around you, and you feel like connected to the collective in some sort of way, or humanity in some sort of way, or society in some sort of way. You could be doing something fun that connects you to other people on the internet as well. This could be research on the internet in regards to something related to the ninth house. We have so many different things. It could be. It's also that Virgoan. Wait a minute. It's analyzing something. This is like being very hypercritical of something in your exterior. So it's not going within. It's looking to the outside. So really being hypercritical about some sort of plant life. You might be really getting into botany, or even really getting into some kind of plant life, and growing that, and that's helping you kind of heal spiritually or not feel so trapped in your inner world. You're doing something practical in the external. This is about something, a weed in your garden taking over completely. For some reason that's coming through. You're just looking at things differently now in your external world. You're seeing the world in through a much bigger lens. But at the same time, you're taking a microscope and you're really kind of getting a good look at something small. 10th house, there's changes in career. You might go work for yourself. You might start your own business, end a job, start your own business. It might be hard to make that decision. You'll know when it's time internally. You might not see it on the outside, but you'll know. There's an ending to a reputation of some sort, a status of some sort that is about something that you have to do for yourself, a decision you have to make for yourself, in regards to work. Some sort of association with your mother or your resources, your friends and their resources. You're looking into that. You're investigating that. You are really hunting down finances. You might have a side job that requires you to really get connected to people and socialize and bump shoulders. And this is also anything that requires you to go shopping for other people. You might do online shopping for other people, as a favor to the elderly, or have a business that you do, like, you're a personal shopper. You hunt for things. You gather things for people, resources. You might work on the orders at your job. The affiliated, companies that give you product or sell you product. You might be put in charge of dealing with resources at this time. This is also about food and consumerism on a global scale. So this can be about natural resources for humanity and trying to preserve the environment, and ethical sourcing as well. You might have to go shopping for your mother. You might have to go. This is also like your dream job, if that's what you're doing. You finally found your dream job. Also, this is, like I said, this is a friend, associate having a baby, and getting tested for having a baby. This is also an investigation of resources within some sort of humanitarian organization. You might find that there's more of that on the news. So there's the Ten of Pentacles in the 12th house. The Ten of Pentacles is like, the Ten of Cups is very Venus and Pisces, right? And the 12th house is Pisces ruled. So there is this kind of bringing money to making the dream happen from making the dream happen and making money from it. There is some sort of building your dream in the physical world. You could be building a house that you yourself had dreamed about in a dream. You might have seen a blueprint of a house in your dream and you're building that. You could be I keep thinking of like screws and nails and tools. There's something here about also your private life is kind of the 4th house, but it's also the 12th house. The 12th house is like when we go to bed at night, where we sleep. You're really going to want to try to get some privacy and get some quiet around when you sleep. You might have family keeping you up at night, or you might not have you might have a hard time sleeping just because you don't have that person in your bed anymore. There's something about there being something being taken away from in the sleep time. The home is also the tribe, so your spiritual tribe could be significant. You could be finding the people that connect with you the most. You could be connected to ancestors on the other side during sleep. It could come suddenly that you have a dream of a grandparent or a father that's passed on, and or even way back somebody could come up and visit you, and you won't even, they might not say who they are, but you'll have a feeling, or it'll just be a very kind of peaceful but sudden thing. Yeah. All right, Cancer. There is a lot going on for you. You're trying to close out toxic cycles. You're working on yourself. You've got quite a bit of balance that you're working on attaining or holding on to. You are giving back to others, and people are seeing that in the future. Whatever you're going through now, you will be able to benefit others in the future with. You're concerned about the security of those around you in your family and in your neighborhood. And there's something here about being seen as somebody who does good in the world and who is maybe changing careers, going through a big transformation of some kind in career. And there's something good about this investigation. This could also be investigative journalism, in terms of, there's something here about the Empress, or investigating some sort of creation or abundance, or there's something here about that. It's just very interesting to me. Advice: be passionate, share your passions with others, share your emotions with others, offer your love to others. Any losses that you have, I really feel like they're just paving the way for you to find your purpose and your dream job and your dream home and your soul tribe. All right, Cancer. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great August, and I'll see you in September. Bye.